I broke my leg in Santa Fe. I lost my wife and a girlfriend somewhere along the way. And I'll be looking for it when they close that gate. And I hope that judge ain't blind. Amarillo by morning, Amarillo's on my mind.
This is Baggage Claim, travel stories no one tells. I'm Will Conway. Today, the burden of skepticism, the terror of too much experience, the joy of choosing to be happy, and the voice of an angel. If you're new here, welcome. Make sure you subscribe. If you really like it, send it to a friend. And stick around after the episode for an announcement about the guests of the upcoming interview portion. Okay, let's get to it. Don't buy hiking boots 2 days before trekking 25 kilometers a day for 5 days. I mean, you might think that's not really life advice anyone needs to hear, but I did. Clearly, I did. I've been traveling with nothing more than a black and gray 30-liter Deuter backpack. The bottom third is now consumed by a hammock I bought in Leticia for the slow boat. I stubbornly refuse to toss it. I feel like it'll make a good keepsake. But 4 t-shirts, a button-down for some reason, a pair of shorts, a swimsuit, 3 pairs of underwear, a sweatshirt, flip-flops, and a pair of sneakers. That's all I've had. This is Peru. This is the land of treks and exotic intensity and wild mountains and swirling tendrils of fog, and I just linked up with the 2 most outdoorsy guys I've traveled with yet. A man needs a pair of boots. And so I swung into a trekking outfitter and I found a pair of Batas. They'd be $400 or $500 in the US, but I got them for $40. Now it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I've been up since 4 a.m. hiking up this long winding pass since 5:30 or so. There's a bite in the air and my breath swirls, gray and twisting and disappearing into the mountain fog. The long winding pass we ascended this morning stretches out for miles, snaking like a pale green river through towering mountains. We're surrounded on all sides. The Salkantay peak is before us, towering gray and gold, 2,000 meters above. I've hiked 23 kilometers today, so these boots have about 24 kilometers on them, total. We're at 3,700 meters in elevation, 2 football fields higher than the summit of Vail in Colorado. About 2 hours ago, I felt my feet shifting in my boots. I was convinced my socks were bunching or shifting because I felt like I was sweating. And then I realized it wasn't my socks moving at all. It was my skin. Anyway, we've technically finished hiking for the day. This right here is extra credit. Our guide steered us into camp, pointed us to a few wooden lean-tos, a concrete latrine. He said dinner's in 2 hours and then pointed up a gradual incline behind us and said there's a gorgeous lake up there. And so off we went. Cayo is a few paces behind me. That's Cayo, like the coyote, as he always likes to say. Flo is maybe 20 yards ahead. He's a big, handsome Austrian dude, a few years older than us. A few clicks more badass, too. He has plans to go down to Punta Arenas in southern Chile and hook up with a boating company and work his way to Antarctica. This guy's seen the world. The whole world. He spent years in Southeast Asia, a year more on the subcontinent, the Alps, the Himalayas, Africa, scuba diving with great whites in Australia, now South America. Fuck. It's slow hauling now and the elevation is really getting to me. These bloody stumps masquerading as feet must have had a sidebar without me and decided they were done for the day. It's 10 paces, and then gasp for air and let my heart thump fade away from my ears, and then 10 more paces. This hill it's longer than I thought. Kaio's red in the face, tongue hanging out and panting behind me. And then there's Flo, way ahead now and moving like a ballerina, or a mountain goat, or some other responsible metaphor. Between breaths, Kaio's droning on and on about conservative politics. He's a former soldier from Florida, and his politics aren't exactly busting stereotypes. He's a lovely guy, though, and he gives my ideas a run for their money, so I appreciate him. But the sky is stunning and blue, and the path looks like a 100-mile moss-covered stone, and there's white-capped mountains before us that make me question my place in the world, so I just kind of want him to shut up about the Second Amendment for a minute. Anyway, Flo is standing with his hands on his hips ahead where the hill levels off. We come up behind him and we see it too. The hill dips back down into a sprawling lake at the base of a Goliath mountain. The air is chilled and that lake water must be freezing, but still, it's adopted the hues of the Caribbean. Clear in a collage of every color in the palette of teal and cyan and turquoise. The sheer rock face of the mountain towers behind it, rocketing from the earth 1,000 meters or more, slate gray at first and then salted white, and then crowned in ice as it rises to a point. The whole thing is so large, my perception of space is just broken altogether. The lake may very well be a mile across. It could also just as well be 30. On the back wall, I notice what appear to be thin cracks in the mountainside, and only after staring for a long time do I realize that they're moving. Rushing waterfalls. Towering and colossal, but somehow dwarfed by the magnificence of global grandiosity so enormous I just can't comprehend. Kaio and Flo and I stand silent for a long moment, panting and recovering, and I feel myself rushing to the edge of endorphins, overpowered and joyous in my own insignificance, dominated by this tiny sliver of nature that stands callous and gargantuan and indifferent before us. But then Flo speaks. It's nice, but I think the one in Santa Cruz was bigger. Yeah, they had these all over Brazil, Kaio says. This probably ranks in the top 10, though. And Flo says that maybe this ranks in his top 10, but we should spend some time in the Alps. Those are even more beautiful than this. And Australia is different, but it's wild too. And Southeast Asia is, oh my god, and Africa? Forget about it. I can't help but think that this is what we have in front of us right now, and maybe the world is more beautiful elsewhere. Maybe there's somewhere else on the planet that's prettier than this, but right now, this is what I have. And it's all I need. Because compared to this, I'm nothing. Compared to the Andes, I'm a fucking ant, and this is an oak tree. It doesn't matter that there are redwoods in the Rockies. It doesn't matter that there are skyscrapers in the Himalayas. A damn oak tree is plenty for me to forget about myself for a while. This whole thing is stunning, and I don't need anything else. I just need this. I realize in that moment I don't ever want to be Flo, as great as he is. Because he's let his travels jade him. His perception of the world is rocked by his perception of his own dominance over it. He's so overcome this globe that he forgets he's a mere mortal. He's an ant in a cornfield with a frequent flyer platinum package. And this world is so much more than any man could comprehend. And I vow right here, right now, to never ever take these moments for granted. To never let myself grow weary of this view before me because there have been other views before, or there are going to be other views in the future. I'm never going to forget that long time ago, I marveled at the White Mountains in New Hampshire, like the world could never do more than that. It didn't matter that somewhere else far east stood K2 and Everest, and to the south, Salkantay and the stunning Humantay Lake, because the whole world is too big to comprehend, and I just can't forget that. We took our pictures and we took our videos and we marveled, and Kaio and Flo desecrated this holy land with their lists and comparisons and all their jaded cynicism. As the sun melted away, we descended back down the hill for dinner, my feet burning, my skin slipping and sliding like wet socks. I passed out no later than 8 o'clock in the evening and woke up first thing in the morning, and now I'm here, in this bathroom. It's 5:30 in the morning, 20 degrees Fahrenheit, -7 Celsius in the Peruvian Andes. And here, in the frigid morning air, I've walked into a humble little cinder block restaurant built for trekkers. I'm brushing my teeth.
Broke my leg in Santa Fe. I lost my wife and a girlfriend somewhere along the way. And I'll be looking for it when they.
And there's that voice, dancing in chilly air from the women's room. I'm shivering under 4 layers. I shivered through the night. But I'm wide awake now, and I'm smiling. I finish brushing my teeth as her voice fades away, and we leave the bathroom at the same moment. She's a charmed young woman with a baby face and innocent eyes and a passion for everything. Was that you singing? I ask. She blushes red. I'm so sorry, she says. I sing when I'm inspired.
And I ain't got a dime, but what I got is mine. I ain't rich, but Lord, I'm free. And Amarillo by morning, Amarillo's where I'll be.
That was Baggage Claim, travel stories no one tells. I'm Will Conway. Thank you so much for listening. Special gratitude goes out to Nikki Allen, who is both the character in the story and the real person you just heard singing. She was gracious enough to sing that for me after we haven't seen each other in like a year and a half. So thank you so much, Nikki. Find her on Instagram. Link is in the description. All right, friends, the very, very first interview episode comes out on Thursday. That's May 6th. I'm excited to announce my first guest, Bridget Fedesi. She's a well-known political pundit. She shows up on all the major networks. She's an absolute badass. She's hilarious, and she's been through quite a lot. Her story is out on Thursday. I really think you'll enjoy it. Show notes with sound credits and everything else is in the description. See you next. Wait. See you this Thursday. That's weird. Whatever. All right. See you Thursday, everybody.